coalition, that seat hasn't been filled yet, so we have 5 homeschoolers instead of 6. They have a lot of families, so they really want to have a seat on here. And then the School Boards Association, that seat is still vacant. So we have 10 of the 12 voting seats are filled. And I thought Barbara was going to come today originally, but she's not really good at all. So what I'm going to start with is my report. I gave the report to the State Board of Education. I should have put the link on here. Are there any of you that don't know how to get to the video of the State Board of Education meetings? It's pretty easy. You go onto the State Board of Education website, and I don't remember now the exact procedure, but it's easy to find. Anyway, if you wanted to see the actual presentation, I was the first person on the agenda that day. I made a public comment before my report, because they had a public comment period at the State Board, and there was something I wanted to say that was not connected to HEAC, so I wanted to say that as part of public comment rather than as part of the report. And then I gave the report. I added like an appendix. There was a report that I found online that had some statistics for homeschooling, for the success of homeschooling. And I had intended to tell the board ahead of time that this wasn't technically part of the report, because that hasn't been voted on, by the council. But when they asked me about it later, because they have, they ask you questions after they give you a report, and I said, look, I want to make it clear that this report was not really part of the original HEAC report. Because one section of that report was like super critical of public schools, and that was not, I wasn't trying to take aim at the public schools. And I made sure that I explained that to the state board, because the member who asked me about it was wondering, what's going on. I said, no, look, this was just about the statistics, and I had intended to tell you guys ahead of time not to take the comments about public schools in this report as something that I had intended to present. And it certainly wasn't something that the council intended to present either. So I made sure they understood that. Aside from that, they didn't, there wasn't, there weren't any major issues that they were concerned with that they wanted me to address besides what was in the report. So that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. One of you had asked me about the New Hampshire, I think it might have been you, Janet, the School Boards Association policy, because when you look at the policy, it's got a space for first reading, second reading, and final approval, but none of that was checked off. So I talked with Will Phillips, and he explained to me that they have that on a form so that if a local board decides to adopt this verbatim as their policy, the local board would then fill these things in, because the local board would have to have usually a first reading, a second reading, and then a final approval. So that's what those little check boxes are for on that home education policy. So that is, see, it's a recommended thing. It's not something that the school boards have to adopt. It's just something that the School Board Association says, look, if you want a sample policy, this is what we recommend. The school boards are then free to either adopt that or some modified version of it. So what we see online is in fact the latest version of the School Boards Association recommended policy. Participating agency annual reports. There's Form A12E, and as I mentioned back in May, those reports are going to start being made available again this October. The school districts have been collecting information, and the information they've collected since last November is going to be made available to the department next month, in October. And the information they're collecting now are just new registrations for homeschooling. The instructions that go out to the districts say, just give us the new registrations, not, don't include people who notified in previous years. So what we're going to get each year are just the new homeschoolers, because otherwise it's just a guess.
I so disagree with that, but okay.
Well, you got to understand, Janet, a lot of people don't notify when they get done, and the districts know this, and we know it, and you know, so it's really not accurate to give a cumulative number because there's no real way of knowing. That's what the
I think that would be a
districts.
closer number than just saying we're not going to count them at all.
Well, yeah, but see, if you keep track of all the new numbers from year to year, and you start with the last time there were full numbers, you know, we can come up with a pretty good guess. And that's what it is, it's a guess, and the districts would be doing the same thing, guessing. So rather than guess, they want them to fill out an actual number that's actually verifiable. And that is good information. That is good information. Apparently, the non-public schools have a different form than A12E, but I haven't been able to find out the number of that form. I got an email and a phone call into the lady who takes care of these forms, and she may have emailed me today because I forgot to check my email. But that's something I have to look into again. We had a right to know request. I'm going to ask Michelle, because it was you who put it in. You're all set with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then I had a question from a family. I've been in touch with them back and forth. I'm not sure yet how this is going to come out, but they have a child who hasn't been in school yet, and they wanted to have the district do an assessment because they're pretty sure the child has educational disability. District, the Rochester district, they don't want to do the evaluation. And I said, look, they have to do the evaluation. And as far as I know, they also have to do an IEP. After that, they're not required to do any more if you're a homeschooler. But I wanted to double check and make sure I was right about the IEP. I knew I was right about the initial evaluation. And I did check, and they do have to do also the IEP. Oops, maybe you can add something if you have something.
Yeah, is this what you called me on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to, you know.
That's my thing, that's what I do. That's my world. Yeah, I mean, if a referral comes into any district, you have 15 business days to act on that referral. Now, you have to have a meeting. At that first meeting, the question is, is there a suspected educational disability? Not, are we going to assess or not? That's the second question.
Right.
Is it, and what is the information that leads the team to believe, or whoever's presenting the referral, to believe that there's a potential educational disability? So if it's a child who's already in school, you're looking for the teacher or the literacy specialist, somebody to bring some data, like this is what I'm seeing, whatever. If it comes from a parent, and sometimes parents have anecdotal information about,
Right.
gee, all my other kids this, or even the pediatrician said this, or, you know, whatever. So there's some kind of information, and then the team has to make a decision, is that enough information to warrant looking at an assessment? And if we are going to assess, what is the question we're trying to answer? So that leads you to which assessments you're going to do, because you don't do everything on every child, that's invasive and unnecessary.
Right.
But you try to hone in, if there's a speech and language disability suspected, you're gonna hone in on that. If there's a learning disability suspected, if it's, you know, the child with vision issues, you know, whatever it might be, you're only gonna do what's needed for that child and start to answer some of those questions. Sometimes those assessments lead to further questions that they want to look into further after the fact, but you might come up with enough information just from that to make a determination. So there are all timelines that you have to work through that process. There's 60 days to do the evaluations, and then you have to convene the team back to determine eligibility.
Right.
So again, the question is, does this data tell us, according to all the rules and procedures especially, that there is an educational disability, and if so, in what category? So there are certain categories that are, for New Hampshire, every state has their own categories. And if there is an educational disability and the team is in agreement, and the parent is, of course, a huge part of the team, you can't have a meeting without them.
Right.
Then the next step is to write an educational plan that will address the needs that that evaluation in that area of disability pointed out, or areas that need to be remediated or receive specialized instruction. And there, from the date of your eligibility meeting, that 60-day point, then you have 30 days to write your IEP and have another meeting with the parents about that.
So basically, it's a 90-day window.
Basically, depending on the time of the year, sometimes assessments, evaluations can happen sooner than 60 days. Sometimes IEPs can be, you know, written and met on before 30 days, but that's the window that the federal law gives, or the state law. So it's, you know, it's a referral doesn't mean there's going to be testing. A referral doesn't mean there's going to be an IEP. A referral begins the process of asking the questions. But a referral cannot be denied. A referral can come from multiple sources to the team, and the team must respond within the time period. When you get off of the IEP, the last question is the placement. Where does this specialized instruction, where can this program that we've developed take place? You develop a program and the needs first, and then determine what's the least restrictive environment for that student to be in to receive those services. And that's the federal law, is least restrictive. And that's when, if a parent is going to be homeschooling, then they have the option of their homeschooling, come to a public school, whatever. And if they decide to homeschool, then the child would be put in what's called child find. So they're eligible, but not accepting services right now. And so you stay eligible during the 3-year period of your eligibility. Every 3 years, eligibility has to be redetermined. It's called a 3-year reevaluation. So, you know, it's up to the parents at that point. And they would every year reach out, get the annual child find letter from the district saying you are still eligible. We want you to know if services are available. If you choose, let us know. Get the team back together and discuss and look at where the child is now. Without having to do reevaluation, sometimes you can just touch it and see any of these goals and objectives you originally came up with still applicable or not. So it's a very complicated process. It's a lot of time.
I've had to explain to people about child find before, because some people, they don't realize that child find doesn't force you into anything, and that the school must keep the child on child find.
If they're eligible.
If they're eligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I said, look, they're not trying to make them do something.
No, it doesn't mean they can't access other things at the school, but trying to access special education services is really difficult part-time.
Yeah.
Because especially at the elementary level, things are embedded into the regular, regular education in the classroom setting often, and, pull out separate services is more rare.
Right, that's what, yeah.
Right, and even related services like speech and language services are often tied in with the curriculum in the classroom, and so it's, the whole goal is, you know, to plug a kid out and do something to them and, you know, put it back in. We're not gonna generalize or carry over if there's no connection.
I thought of asking this question before, but suppose the parents were willing, suppose that the biggest piece of the IEP, for example, had to do with language and reading. If the parents were willing to use the same program in the home that's being used in the school, what happens then?
If the parent is qualified to do that, because most of the programs that school districts use require specific training, and some are even certifiable training programs that take a lot of time to learn to do.
Okay.
Most of the people who deliver, you know, specialized instruction in reading often have additional certifications recognized by the DOE. They may be a reading specialist, or if in middle school, high school, they may be highly qualified in that area, which means that they, you know, really concentrate on that content area. They receive training in general ed as well as special ed. So, yeah, you could do it. I mean, I'm sure if I were a special ed parent, I'm a special ed person, and if I